here with Half Dozen Customs. We're back out here in the shop today working on the motor for the Jeep. I pulled it out the other day. I did it off camera. You guys watched me pull the other motor out of this. It was pretty much the same process, same routine. Only thing was this one was a little easier because it wasn't hooked up to anything. It was 2 motor mount bolts and 1 transmission mount bolt, and I picked it up and pulled it out. So it wasn't that bad to do. I was able to do it by myself, so I just kind of came out here and got it done and didn't fart around with the camera or anything. So I told my buddy that owns the truck, this motor's gonna go into the motor shop and have some stuff done to it and tuned and whatnot. They're putting cam and all that good stuff in it. So he had asked me if I could. There's these motors. This is a LS motor. These motors are real common for breaking the end exhaust bolts. Luckily this one only had 2 that broke, both back ones. Usually the front ones break and the back ones break. So but my buddy asked me if I could get those out. So normally I have no issues getting broken bolts out of stuff. I just weld a nut to them, back them out while they're still hot. These LS motors are they can be a little more difficult because of the aluminum heads. So you got to be careful because you don't want to melt the side of the head. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt. We're gonna weld a washer to the stud first. So that I don't have to reach so far in on the bolt. Much easier to just weld a washer to it, and then we'll weld the bolt to the washer, and we'll try and get these out. Now the driver's side of the motor, it's broke off flush, so it's going to be easy to get to. Not saying it's going to be easy to get out, it's just going to be easy to get to. The passenger side here, it broke off a little bit inside. So if you can see there, you can actually see one of the threads. So it's broke off, you know, a little deeper in there than I like. So hopefully with welding the washer to it, you know, we won't hit the head too much. I don't know. What I think I'm gonna try and do is we're gonna start a tack on it and kind of build it out a little bit, and then we'll weld the washer to it, and see if we can get it out. Usually when I do these, you know, you try and get it to back out when it's red hot. But it seems with the aluminum, it's a little better to let it cool off before you back it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this welded on there, and then I'm going to let it cool off, and then we'll come back and we'll try and break it loose. So like I said, hopefully I got a good ground here. We'll find out here in just a second. But I'm gonna get a little bead started on the end of this bolt. So now this may take a couple of tries. All right, we'll let that cool off, and we'll see how we did. Extra tack for reassurance. So I'll be back when this cools off. Okay, so we're back after letting this cool down. This is one ugly looking bolt with some weld on it. So I don't know if this is going to work the first time or not, but let's see. And we didn't even touch the aluminum, so worked well. Like I said, I get bolts like this all the time out, but with the aluminum it's a little more trickier. What happens is that this is a steel bolt and this is an aluminum head, and steel and aluminum don't really like each other, I guess. Aluminum likes to corrode, and you can see all the corrosion just from the exhaust gasket being on here and the corrosion that starts in between the two. And that corrosion starts, you can kind of see it's a little yellowish. The corrosion starts to build up in the threads, and it locks these bolts in. It's like a Loctite, a self Loctite. So that's one. Got one more to do. Let's see if we can get that one out. Okay, like I said, this one's right at the edge of the head, so it'll be a little easier to get. This one looks like it's been broke off in there for a while. The other one looked fresh. So just clean that one up a little bit so we get a good bite to it. Alright, again, we're going to let him cool, so I'll be back in, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. We'll let him cool off and we'll give that one a shot. Alright, so we're back. I gave this probably about 10 minutes to cool down. Let's see if we get just as lucky with this one as we did with the other one. That worked out well. So I don't feel like that was a good example of how to get these bolts out, because very rarely do they ever just come out the first time. Usually you got to do what I did several times. So just because I got it out in one try doesn't mean that it always works like that. And don't give up, just do it again. Keep doing it till you get it out of there. So yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much how I remove broken bolts from stuff. Even if it wasn't aluminum, you know, if it was steel or cast, like the block or whatnot, you know, a lot of times I'll try and break them loose while they're still hot. It's kind of just like, you know, heating up a bolt. If you got a stuck bolt, you heat it up with the torch before it breaks, right? So it's kind of the same thing. You know, you heat it up using the welder, and then you break it loose. Only reason that I let these cool down before we did anything with them is because it's in the aluminum. Why that works better, I don't know. Something with the heating and the cooling of the bolt to the aluminum and the aluminum to the bolt. I don't know, it helps it free itself up, I guess. So I don't know the technical reasons for it or the scientific reasons for it, but it works. So yeah, if you need to remove stuck bolts or broken bolts like that, that's how you do it. I would always attempt this before you try drilling and tapping, or not drilling and tapping, drilling and using an easyout. And if you're gonna drill and use an easyout, do not get the cheap China-made stuff. So I have this. It is from Matco Tools. These are the good easy-outs. As you can see, they still break. I'm glad I seen that. I'll have to send that in and get a new one. But yeah, get a good easy-out set if you're gonna attempt to do easy-outs. Those China ones just break, and then once it's broke off in there, you're pretty much screwed as far as drilling and tapping that hole then. So I always go for the welded nut to the stud first. I'll try it 10 times before I'll drill it and attempt an easy out. And a lot of times, maybe you'll catch me sometime in a video, like if I can't get it out, I'll just drill it and tap it. And then if I'm drilling and tapping, you gotta make sure you get it right in the center of the stud. Drill it out with this small drill bit, go up a little bit, go up a little bit, go up a little bit. And a lot of times just the heat from you drilling over and over and the vibration of the drilling, a lot of times you can get at it with an easy out and it'll come out then. Before, you know, once you start getting close to those threads, you know, try the easy out and see if you can get it out. You know, if not, just drill it and tap it. So but luckily we didn't have to go that route, and everything worked out in our favor. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good way to pull out broken studs, broken bolts. See you guys in the next one. I'm out.